And Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who continue to rule well and guide us through the Spirit. And peace and blessings, Shalom to the Most High's elect across the four winds of the earth. It's Brother Yagadal Lamont from GMS Houston back with another lesson. And I want to do another installment of a series I started, which is entitled "It Had to Happen." All right, as far as what there are certain accounts, all right, throughout our history, all right, that had to happen for the Most High's will to be fulfilled. Okay, and I wanted to go into Joseph's brethren, all right, casting him into the pit. Okay, which major prophecies came from that action, man. Okay, all right, all the way until leading up into the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay. All right. So it's gonna be quite a bit of reading. So hey, this is for the spiritual. If it's not exciting, and you move the hell on. So just bear with me, and Lord willing, this lesson to be edifying. All right. This is I'm gonna start with Genesis chapter 37 and starting at verse 5. It says, "And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about and made ambiance to my sheaf. And his brethren said unto him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us, or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made ambiance to me. And he told it to his father and his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. I just wanted to go into that real quick, man, to show the hatred and what the envy that had developed, all right, for Joseph by his brethren, man, all right, the sons of Israel. All right, so I want to jump over to verse 19, okay, to where this is leading, following that envious, that growing envy inside of them, what they decide to do, okay? So this is Genesis chapter 37 and 19. It says, And they said one to another, Behold, the dreamer cometh, okay, because Israel has sent Joseph, all right, to his brethren, all right, while they were out feeding the flock. All right, it says, Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say, Some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. All right, so they started devising plans on how to get rid of Joseph, man, out of their envy. It says, and Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph of his coat of many colors that was on him, which was made and given to him, all right, by Israel, okay, the father. It says, And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother in our flesh, and his brethren were content. Okay, so you starting to see, and this I want to point this out too. This shows it that this is characteristic. Jacob has the Israelites have a conscience, man. Okay, even though they had a high level of envy, all right, they still couldn't bring themselves to murder their brother, man. Okay, all right, so the lesser agreement was to do what? To sell them to the Ishmaelites. Okay, but let's read. I want to read the next verse, man, to point something out. It says, then there passed by Midian, passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there in that chapter and jump to verse 39. But it show you that this was all part of the Most High's will, man. Okay, all right, it was a part of the Most High's will for Joseph to end up getting sold into slavery and ended up in Egypt, man. Okay, but it wasn't for his demise or for him to be destroyed, man. Okay, so this is Genesis 39:1. It says, and Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, a officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which he brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph. So the Most High was with Joseph through all this, man. Okay, showing that this was the Most High's plan. All right, it says, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian, and his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had put into his hand, man. So the Most High was constantly with him unto the point to where his master even recognized it, man, and made him overseer over his house. Okay. And I'm not gonna go into the read that part of the story, man, but his wife pretty much came on to Joseph, man. Okay. All right, and then when he resisted and fled, okay, she lied, man, and what happened after that? He was thrown into prison. Okay, all right, so let's jump to Genesis chapter 41 and starting at verse 25. It says, and Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of real quick, just a quick backdrop, man. All right, I was trying to skip as much reading as possible, man, but all right, Pharaoh had a dream that none of his servants could interpret. Okay, but you had three of the men that was in prison with Joseph and had dreams, and he broke down the dreams. All right, and they actually came to pass. So that word, that this Hebrew, all right, got unto Pharaoh. Okay, so this is Genesis 41:25. It says, and Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Yahweh had showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The seven, and this is Joseph breaking down the dream that no one else could interpret. Right? This says, and the seven thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. It says, this is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What the Most High power is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. Okay, so he broke down his dream of what was set to happen, man. Okay, and not only did he break down a dream, but he came up with the plan to preserve, all right, the corn, man. Okay, and food that was supposed to come during the 7 plenteous years, all right, to be able to preserve them through the famine. Okay, so jump down to verse 39. It says, this is Genesis 41 and 39. It says, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as Yahweh had showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. Now, these Egyptians and all these Kemetic cats, they want to uplift Egypt. Well, guess what? Israelite made Egypt great, man. Okay? This is the history of how Egypt was preserved and made great, was through Joseph, man. Okay? So let's jump over to chapter 42. This is Genesis 42 and verse 6. It says, and Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the ground. Okay, now this is fulfillment of the dream that Joseph had. Okay, and he actually prophesied. Well, he didn't fully understand it, man. Okay, but this is the dream that he had, man. Okay, when his sheaf became higher than the other ones, man. Okay, and the 11 stars, it bowed to him, man. Okay, all right. So that was fulfillment with what you read in the dream he had in Genesis 37, man, showing you that all this had to happen, man. Okay, he had the Most High gave him dreams. Okay, so that envy could rise within his brothers and lead them to do what they did. All right, placing him in that pit. Okay, and being delivered into Egypt, into captivity. All right, but look at what happened, man. He became second in all of Egypt, right under Pharaoh, man. Okay, and during the time of the famine, what happened? His brethren had to come present themselves to him. All right, to come buy corn, man. Okay. All right, or seed. All right, whichever one you want to say. Okay. All right, so let's I'll read a couple more verses in this. Verse 7, it says, and Joseph saw his brother, and he knew them, but made himself stranger unto them, and he spake roughly unto them, and he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, ye are spies, ye see the nakedness of the land, ye are come. Okay, so he remembered the dreams and knew, okay, this is the fulfillment of the dream that I had. Okay, so let's jump over to the 45th chapter. All right, this is Genesis 45 and verse 7. It says, and Yahweh sent. All right, this was Joseph. All right, after he revealed himself. Well, I'll start at the beginning of the chapter. I'm going to end it on verse 8. This is Genesis 45 and 1. It says, then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him. And he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren, and he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near unto me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. Man, Joseph understood the will of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, now a carnal nigga would have fucked around and enslaved his brethren, man. Okay, or put them in slavery, man. Okay. All right, it says, for Yahweh did send me before you to preserve life. Okay. Now, preserve not only at that time, but man, think of all the great men, which pretty much, if Joseph wouldn't have been placed in this position, all right, this would have been the end of Israel, man. All right, they would have perished in the famine. Okay. If he was not sold into slavery and placed right up under Pharaoh, so when his brethren came to him, all right, his fulfillment of the dream he had, all right, he was able to bring salvation unto his brethren and his family, man, and all their family, which I'm about to read in a second. Okay, it says, for these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years. in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And Yahweh sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. Okay, this shows you the Most High has always been with his chosen seed, man. Okay, and this had to happen in order for so much to be fulfilled, man. Okay, the role of Moses. All right, us being delivered out of Egypt. Okay, all right, all these great things. And then, like I said at the beginning, the ultimate thing, the Lord Yahweh Shai came out of this line, man. Okay, so if Joseph was never sold into slavery and placed under Pharaoh, all right, the story would have been very short concerning Israel, man. Okay, I want to jump over to Matthew chapter 1 real quick, man, because yes, real quick, this is Matthew 1 and 2. It says, Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. And all right, and who's amongst those brethren? Joseph. Okay, so Joseph had never reached the level he had was placed under. All right, the Most High was with him the whole time. Okay, all right, this whole lineage would have been cut off, man. Okay, verse 16 is Matthew 1 and 16, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua, who is called Mashiach. Okay, so man, if this had to happen, man, all right, Joseph's brother had to cast him into that pit and him be sold into slavery in the Egyptians, right, which brought great deliverance unto Israel, man. Okay, all right, so the Most High's word could be fulfilled, man, and he was gonna return his people back onto the land, okay, and we was gonna have a kingdom forever. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. There was a lot of reading, but Lord willing, it tied together and was edifying through the Spirit. All right, once again, I want to give all honor and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace and blessings. Shalom to the Most High's elect.